I got terrible fucking food poisoning last year at PAX East.
Did you really?
Like some of the worst ever of my life. Like I think it was the first night. No, it was before the first night. I had just finished setting up, so it was Thursday night. You know, everyone hadn't gotten there yet. I was there with Alan, and we were staying out at the Intercontinental. There's like a steak place right around the corner. So we like, let's go eat a steak. So we go into the steak place. I get like some Cajun rub bullshit thing. I was like, wow, this steak's really good. Go back to my room, you know, pass out, fall asleep. I woke up at about 3 a.m. I was like, man, I've got a serious stomach ache. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Nope, can't go back to sleep. Oh, God. I need to run to the toilet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. And it was like the kind of thing where it's coming out of both ends at the same time, and you don't know how to position yourself. It's like, do I sit and puke on the floor, or do I puke and shit on the floor?
Nah, you just climb in the tub and turn it on. That's what you do.
It was
make a nice stew.
It was fucking terrible. And then afterwards, like, I laid on the floor because the tile was cool. And I was like, I'm just going to lay on the cool tile for a bit and try to get over this violence that just happened to me.
I hate that moment when you decide, you agree with your brain that you are going to throw up. And at that point, it's like, I might actually not make it. And it's really scary because you're going to be like, I don't want to like disturb my body too much.
Yep.
And in the end, it's just like...
It's just so violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like such a relief. And then I felt drained. That's why I just like had to lay down. I was like, I just got to like recover from that for a little bit.
He's had a hardcore ab workout is all it was. You just worked on your core for a few minutes and then leaked. That's what that was.
I watched you leg it off a panel before in Chunder.
Oh yeah, I've done that
Was
before.
it Akon?
Yep.
2006.
Yeah, I don't travel
Fine
well.
year.
Was it 06? Man, that's forever ago.
Yeah, you got up and just kind of shimmied off in the background. And then I saw you afterwards. You're like, I threw up everywhere. It was shooting out of me.
It's been known to happen occasionally.
Yeah. I love the rudeness of the East Coast.
What?
It's refreshing.
I think that-
because I hate friendliness.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Because I'm from England where everyone just stares at the ground and nobody talks to you and makes eye contact and stuff.
So what's wrong with friendliness? Does it just make you uncomfortable? Do you feel like it's not genuine? What is it?
Yeah, the non-genuineness, it just irritates me. Like everyone's like, hey.
You hate your life and you know it. Stop.
Yeah. But I walked up to this guy because there was no water in the room. So I walked up to a guy in the lobby. I was like, excuse me, do you know anywhere in this hotel where I can buy water? And he was just looking ahead. And he looked ahead for like 8 seconds. And I was like,
Easy.
how long do I wait before I say it again or just walk away? And he went, got a room here? And I was like, yeah, 520 or something. He's like, show me the key. I was like, and then he just walked off. And I was like, is he? And then he came back with a bottle of water. But it's just like such a weird, sort of rude approach to doing that.
What was there was
And he's in service. It's a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do the last Boston thing real quick. Actually, just reminded me of what it was. We were in line to the security. We had all these terrible service things in Boston, and we're going out. And the last thing was, we're in the security line, going to leave Boston, and we watch the guy in front of us go to the thing. He goes, here. It shows the little boarding pass to the guy, and he goes, yeah, your pre-check. And he goes, the guy says, oh, I guess I am. Is there a pre-check line here? And he goes, yeah. And the guy goes like this. He goes, it's over there. It's like there was just like enough pause. Like, is there going to be a monetary transaction here? It's like I think that's what that pause is. Is like I'm gonna give enough room to where you feel like you have to give me money. Oh my God.
Yeah, when the guy was just staring ahead and ignoring me, I didn't look at his hand to see if he was like holding his hand out for money or anything like that.
But it was the same thing. It was that pause. That's what reminded me of it. I forgot about that. It's like he wouldn't tell the guy where the pre-check line was.
That's fucked up.
I'm gonna
Just a
start doing
long
that.
pause.
I'm gonna start doing the uncomfortable pause with people.
People are going to walk away.
If I lived in Boston, I went anywhere else in the world, I would be amazed. And like I go to a restaurant, I go like, this guy's a fucking prick. He does everything I tell him to do. You know what I mean? It's like, they must be amazed. They must think waiters everywhere else in the world are fucking pushovers.
Like, yeah, someone from Boston asks someone for water and they go away and get it and they're just like...
Can you believe it?
It's like a respect thing, a dominance thing.
Look at this fucking loser.
All right, let me read this.
Man, how many people came at you this last fucking week to tell you that Gavin was right about how many senses there are?
Oh, God. It was nonstop.
And all they did was link some dumb fucking like YouTube show or QI or something like that. They'd say like, oh, look, Gavin was right. Here's a show with like a couple of dickheads sitting around a fucking table saying exactly what Gavin said. And I totally, listen, just because somebody does a fucking study and they determine these things, I disagree. They can publish it and I can still say I fucking disagree. There are not 40 senses or whatever. How can gravity be a sense? We talked about this in the panel. To me, it's like a sense of like you...
Sense of gravity, not gravity.
well, whatever, a sense of gravity or temperature.
Wait, what is a sense of gravity? As in, like, gravity affects you? Or
No,
like,
you feel that you have gravity.
If
I get a sense of balance. Like, that seems like an extra sense.
But here's the thing. I think he says sense of temperature is one of them too, that you can detect temperature. That's just touch.
That's touch, right.
Yeah.
That's like a subcategory of touch.
you're not touching anything.
Here, you're touching the air, dipshit.
Your skin's touching it.
No. No.
So when it's hot outside, it's the air that's hot, and your skin touches it.
What if the air isn't hot?
Then it's cold, and your skin touches that.
And I'll say the same thing I said before, which is like to take temperature. It's not a sense because you can't lose it. Nobody gets in an accident and they can't feel temperature anymore. It's like you go to a hospital, the guy's like,
happened.
oh, he doesn't have a sense of temperature.
that would also be losing your sense of touch. If you lose your feeling in your legs, and you don't know if your legs are hot. That'd be touch. Like you can lose your sense of balance.
Reisinger has no smell.
You're
he
saying-
lost the sense.
No, he stinks. He just can't smell
No,
anything.
he lost his sense of smell, or never had it.
You're
never
saying
found
that
it.
the air is touching
Sorry,
your
John.
skin,
Yes.
and that makes you feel cold.
Yes.
What if you're in space and there's no air? Can you feel cold?
It's the abs.
You also have an internal temperature too. Just like you can see parts of your body, you can also feel parts of your body.
I can't feel the temperature of my heart right now.
But you can feel when you get a fever, you can feel that.
You feel that you're hotter?
Maybe I found somebody who doesn't have a sense of temperature. Here we go.
You're like,
right here.
John.
I've never had a fever.
But I never
You've
met a
never
guy
had a
who's
fever.
like,
No, I've never. No, I don't.
What the?
you've met a blind guy, right? You now know a guy who doesn't have a sense of smell.
Yeah.
You met deaf people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Have you ever met somebody who can't feel temperature?
Have you ever met someone who can't stand up because they don't have any balance?
No, ever. Somebody who's lost their sense of balance, like other than that, they're totally physically fine, but they don't have a sense of balance and it's gone. And so what do they do? What do they do? They
in a
put one of those
wheelchair.
mechanics dollies and just roll them around. What is that?
Isn't there something like if your inner ear gets fucked up, you lose you can't balance very well?
Now, I think this is what I think we're getting at. I think this whoever did this fucking study or whatever, I think they blurred the line between a sense and an ability. Because somebody has an extraordinary ability of good balance, and you can have a poor balance, but that's not a sense. That's not a
arguing
sense.
All right, shut your eyes.
Go ahead.
Touch your knee.
Okay, that's the other thing too.
He didn't do it.
Okay, no. So
He's
that's the other
avoiding
thing,
it,
too.
Gavin.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing too. That's what I was thinking about when we were talking about this last week. Is that if it was an independent sense, how does sight help my balance? Because it does. If I shut my eyes, it's harder to balance if something's moving than if I can actually see visual cues. It's easier.
All your senses work together.
Oh, you're telling me sight helps me with my hearing or my smell? If I can see something, I can smell it stronger?
No. Seeing something makes the smell connect to the memory of that thing quicker.
I can
If you're
identify
blind
it, but
smelling
it doesn't
stuff-
smell stronger because I can see it.
No, but you use both to get to the same conclusion. To get to the conclusion faster.
Right, but they don't augment each other. They work independently.
There's a difference between, I get what you're saying, Gavin, I get what you're saying, but I think there's a difference between your sense of smell and your recognition of a smell. Those are two different things. Like, if I smelled something super, like a durian fruit, I never smelled it before,
A what fruit?
a durian. Is that what it's called?
That sounds like an alien.
What's it called?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
It's called durian. Why are you laughing at
I've
him?
never
He
heard
never
of
heard,
that
he never
fruit.
heard of it before.
It's funny.
So, like, if you smell a durian and you're like, this thing smells like shit, it smells terrible because it's a horrible smelling fruit, but you've never smelled a durian before, you wouldn't recognize that it's a durian, but you'd still be smelling it at the same level because your sense of smell is independent of everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you saw it, you wouldn't go, oh, this smells way worse because I can see it.
I have
It's right
no
there.
idea how this means gravity, sense of gravity isn't a
I think
sense.
senses, like when they identified the 5 senses in a person, these are 5 independent things.
If you were in free fall
Go ahead.
with no other senses, you would know. You don't hear or see.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
would-
just
or
imagining
smell.
a deaf, blind
Yeah,
mute
that's exactly
falling
it.
from a
That's it.
plane.
But
That's
you're in the
not
vomit
funny.
comet, you would know.
What I'm saying is that I believe that you can feel gravity. I believe that you can. But I think that's a sense of touch overall that you
But
feel.
you're not touching anything.
You feel the weight of gravity on you. You are. It's the force of the earth on you. That's what you're feeling. Like if I take your shoulders and I push them down, is that a sense of shoulders? I mean, is that like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, but it's because it's the same thing. It's just there's a physical thing me doing it, or is that your sense of touch? You know what I'm saying? If I grab your shoulders, I push you down, what is that sense? It doesn't become a sense.
Gavin's like, you've answered your own question. It's shoulders.
The sense of shoulder pressure. Duh.
Sense of pressure is one.
Okay, the pressure is one. To me, that's just touch as well, because that's pressure pushing on your body.
Yeah.
And it's like pushing here. Once again, If I put you in,
So you said the inside of your ear is touch.
inside of my
what?
ear is touch. That's
Are you talking about
hearing.
the balance thing again? What are you talking about? What is
Well,
that?
like you can feel pressure in your ears first. It's where you feel pressure.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have a sense of touch in your ears? Do you just associate touch with your fingertips?
No, I'm. You got another sponsor read or anything?
All right. But my point I was trying to make is that people will always cite things on like on the internet of like, look, he's absolutely right.
That's the sense.
I just don't agree.
one for five.
I simply don't agree, and I don't think it makes you right or makes me wrong or me right and you wrong. Although it probably does, but I just don't agree with those people who say that. I think there's 5
Do
senses.
you agree with the shape of the Earth?
Yeah,
Why?
because a shape is a geometric. It's a mathematical fact.
Why are you asking that? Do you not agree with the shape of the Earth?
It's
No,
a-
I do.
it's
But
not
it's the same. Like, why
a
are you?
sphere is not an abstract concept. A sense is something that's made up.
Everything's made up. Like it's all the brain anyway.
It's all the brain. It's all the brain. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a college degree and I'm gonna day one. I'm shop. It's all the brain. I'm gonna go. Fuck.
I think you just became Carl Pilkington. I think it's the most Carl Pilkington thing you've ever said in your life.
I don't remember we probably have talked about this in the podcast. We talked about everything, but I learned that based on its size, that the Earth is smoother than a cue ball
Yeah, we've
on a
talked
pool
about that.
table. That if you shrunk the Earth down to the size of a pool ball, that it would have less variation in its surface than the average billiard ball, essentially.
It'd be dense.
What's that?
It'd be dense.
It would be, yes, it would be dense. Totally different discussion.
You think you could only live on God's pool table? Any other pool table, it would crush it.
It would have a serious sense of pressure going on.
I love you, Gavin. One year, I was taking chemistry in high school.
Third party piss.
I think I was in 10th or 11th grade, and like as for our chemistry class, we did like basic rudimentary urinalysis on ourselves. And so we had to like bring in urine samples, and we like boiled it or whatever.
Dude, if they did that today, they would shut down the fucking school.
They did that when I was in school.
You brought in your own piss?
Yeah.
It wasn't in my class, but they did a urine test to in like the upper level
What'd you
science.
test for?
I don't remember. It was
All right,
fucking
I'm
a million
sorry.
years ago.
Dissected pigs
So
and
the
shit.
problem with the test, though, is we did it the week before spring break. So we finished all the tests and everything, and I was like, cool. I put my leftover piss in my like drawer with my supplies and locked it, and then went on spring break. And then like I was out of school for the whole week. Came back that next Monday after the break. Opened up my drawer, and it was the most foul cup of old piss I've ever seen. You like
Compared to the other cups
I've ever seen out of all the cups of old piss.
And I have seen some cups, good sir.
It had shit growing in it.
Oh.
It was absolutely
whole new
disgusting.
world.
And so I went to go throw it out, and I opened it
Why?
Why'd you do that?
because I was going to just dump it out in the sink.
In the sink?
I should not have opened it. Like instantly, people started running out of the classroom. Fucking vile.
It was in your classroom?
It was.
God, I hate these stories when you guys tell them.
It's my favorite.
It had like shit floating in it. It was absolutely disgusting.
Uh,
Okay, so long story short, if you're going on spring break, throw your piss away.
Remember, kids, can't have stale piss lying about. Not gonna have any of that, right, Bernie?
But your story is what I was thinking of when you started telling that was in the behind the scenes of Day of the Dead. They talked about how they had to do the scene. This is gonna get pretty gross here, where the zombies get in. They like pull this one dude apart. They pull out his guts.
Nice.
And the way
I'm so excited.
the way that they tried to fake that was they tried to come up with like they tried to make it like Tom Savini was like the visual effects guy back then with Romero. I don't know if he worked on Day of the Dead, but he was one of the famous ones that worked on it. They couldn't fake it very well, so they actually went out and found a place that would sell them, a butcher that would sell them pig entrails, like actual intestines. So they would do that, but there was some kind of thing where they did that, and there was they kept it in this refrigerator, and then they moved to a different set for like 4 or 5 days.
Oh God.
And then they came back, but they realized when they left the set, somebody just to save money cut the power. So the bucket of pig entrails sat in a fridge that then powered down and cooled down and like turned into like a hot box.
I feel sorry for whoever opened that.
And they opened it and said it was the most disgusting thing ever, but because they were so low on money, they couldn't like throw them away. They had to use them in the scene, and the extras are like,
So it's a bunch of zombies going.
They would go like, they'd be like, rah, 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 rah. So you would cut, they go, they actually had footage of them.
Director's like, keep rolling.
So they were so low on money, but they could still spend it to keep the cameras rolling to get footage of them reacting.
Yeah, I guess they were that tight. Like, I think it was to go get them. They were going to have to burn a day or two, which is a lot of money on a movie set. And they literally made the discovery when they needed the pig entrails.
Oh, God.
And they were just like, all the zombies were like,
The moaning's really loud in that.
oh, it's so gross. So gross.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I think it's on the behind the scenes for Day of the Dead.
So that's got to be like the worst casting call ever to be an extra in a movie, right? It's like, you're going to be a zombie. You need to play with rotten pig guts.
Oh, people, by the way,
need
are very mad on Twitter right now.
don't like it.
That's what I point
I
out.
stopped reading. They're mad on Twitter arguing about the census thing. But somebody put the argument more concisely than I was able to, which was like, that we're all confusing sense with sensation. And we think that's what it is. Like, sensations are not senses. That your sense of touch gives you a sensation of gravity and a sensation of temperature. But those are not innate senses themselves. That's it. And then people are saying, you're arguing with science. People have studied this for years. And my argument is, a sense is not a finite, concrete thing. It is an abstract concept that we define things as senses.
It's all in the brain.
Like, I can say, okay, I have a sense of hair. Like, I know that I have hair, so I have a sense of hair. It's an abstract, you're setting boundaries for something where there's no concrete evidence for it. It's like we made up the thing called a sense. We didn't make up a thing called a sphere. We identified there were things in the universe called spheres, and we studied them. A sense is not a
There's electricity in your hand that's doing your brain up, and that's
It's like this. It's like this.
So when I have sense of finger, is what I'm saying. A sense itself, to define something as a sense, is the category that this is a sense and this is not. That is the abstract part. I'm not saying the sense of touch is abstract. You have a sense of touch. I'm saying calling it a sense, and that this is a sense and this is not a sense, you know? Like sense of walking, you know? Sense of movement, sense of balance. It's like, you can just name every sensation you have and call it a sense. That's a slippery slope.
Look, this is the moment I knew I could not get into the world of comic book reading, when I walked into a comic book store and I saw Superman versus Alien. As an alien from, like, Predator versus Alien, like
Geiger
really
alien.
got, like, aliens.
with
I
the
like how you
alien-
go straight to as an alien from Predator versus Alien.
Well, like,
They had work before
I
that.
know
you know
that, but what I'm
They
saying,
have a very storied
I know
career.
that,
You
but
look
like,
at the IMDb, that's like way down on the list.
what I'm saying is, there's too many fuck you. There's too. I don't know why I went with that. There's so many alternate universes, and like you said, like this character's dead, but not in this universe, so it's okay.
If the
It's too
alien-
much. I can't deal with it. A person's death doesn't mean anything until like the next.
It's just,
volume.
these are storylines that have been running for 50, 60 years at this point.
It's
If the
a
alien
lot.
from Alien bleeds on Superman, does it melt him?
No, because he's got that radioactive bullshit from the sun.
What if he's not in the sun, though? What if he's on the alien planet?
Well, you know, you
yeah,
gotta read the
there it
book to
is.
find out. They have Batman versus aliens too.
Get him, Soups. Don't fucking take that. The crazy thing is like I could actually have a justification for that, because if like was it Jor-El is his father who's programming the thing to go to Earth? That'd be a tough calculation. What if he fucking missed Earth and he went to the alien planet and landed there instead?
As a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucked up.
Then the aliens raise him. He starts
Mama,
whooping on
Dada.
him.
It's just gone. That's the end of the Superman story.
That's the shortest comic book ever. It's like 2 pages. Like,
And then all the other ones are blank.
that took a turn.
I pay money to own that comic book.
I do love, too, that, like-
if I display that shit proudly.
I like that those aliens are called aliens.
No, they're
You know what I mean?
xenomorphs.
Like they're like
No, that doesn't say Superman Xenomorphs. That says Superman Alien.
Because aliens is like
but it
the
has the
franchise,
alien
it's the
logo.
branding.
It doesn't even say versus. It doesn't say and. It
It's
says
just
Superman Aliens.
Oh yeah.
What if?
and really
holy
when
shit,
you boil it down, isn't that comic Alien versus Aliens basically? Because Superman's an alien.
What if Superman? What if the Kryptonians weren't like humanoid at all? What if they looked like a xenomorph?
What
and
if
it was
that's
It was sent to Earth to save
What
us.
if that's the twist? The alien is really Superman, and Superman is the alien.
fucking up their world?
Yeah, it's like the alien has to come and save us from
It'd
Superman.
be pretty funny
God.
if that was Jor-El.
So like, you know how the aliens give birth by like they implant the egg into your stomach and then they chest burst out and then
Classic.
they grow. Yeah, it's great.
Great.
If that happened to Superman, like if Superman got a facehugger on him, would that alien just be trapped inside of him until it starved because it wasn't strong enough to break out? And then he just gets really bad indigestion, and then that's the end of that's the other way that story could have
He
gone.
wakes up after eating at Smith and Walensky and like lays down on the tile of the bathroom floor for a bit.
He gets in the tub, turns on the water, just lays there.
Roll credits.
Speaking of that, I was with somebody this weekend at one point, and they were like, "Oh," on their phone, and I was like, "What?" And they said, "I just typoed my password on my phone," and he put it down. Everybody else at the table was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Just type it again." It's like, "No, I typoed my password, so now I have to go through this like quintuple verification process that if they make one mistake on like logging into their email or the server, they have to go through this long ass process to recover their own account, basically."
Wow.
And he knew it was going to take him like 30 minutes to do it because he typed
That's
it.
awful.
Oh,
You know what that fucking reminds me of, Gus? Something that happened a few months ago.
It was like 2 weeks
Oh
ago.
my! It was not. No, this was months ago.
It was a month ago.
This was multiple months ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was because it was long ago because we hadn't started production on RVB 12 yet. Oh my fucking god! I just remembered this.
So, whenever this happened, like a month ago.
2 months ago.
Like a month ago.
Several months ago.
A month ago, Emily calls me over and she says, "I just got this weird email. Can you take a look at it?" And I look, and it's like a Microsoft account verification email. And she says, I guess I have this account and someone recovered the password." And I looked, and it was like one of our shared, email accounts. It's like,
Sure was.
that's really weird. Someone was able to log in, and they added a phone number to your account.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that phone number. Do you know that phone number? No, I don't know it.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let's call it and let's see if we recognize who picks it up. So I pick up the desk phone, and I instead of calling off of line 1, I call off of line 3, which is not our main number. And I call it, and I hear hello. I'm like, wrong number. And I hang up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is. We gotta report this.
So you were judging the voice based on hello?
Yeah.
Well, earlier that morning, I'd come in to start working on RVB, and we have to do this thing where every now and then Halo 4 will kind of forget that we downloaded some maps. So we need to connect it to Xbox Live to say, hey, don't worry, we do have these maps. Please give them to us. We have shit to do. The only problem with that is whenever we connect to Xbox Live, it says, hey, would you like to sign in with your password? And we say, sure, Xbox, I would love to sign in with that password. And we type it in and it goes, great, thanks for that password. Hey, would you like to add a phone number to help make things more secure? If you say no, it says, cool, fuck you, and you don't get to do anything. But if you say yes and says, okay, great, we're going to text you a 4-digit code.
Yep,
just pop that in. Do it. Send it in. Great. Thanks so much. We've sent you a confirmation email. If you could please respond to that email so we know that you're the one that had this phone, that'd be great. You go to your email. Thanks. I see that you put in the phone number. To make sure that this email is secure, though, we're going to send you a second email, and it goes on. I'm not making this up. It's like a 10-part process to sign into Xbox Live and then do this other shit. And we have a lot of characters in RVB at this point in time, so you have to do it a lot.
Do you have like a spreadsheet with all the information?
I have several spreadsheets, Gavin. Whoever set up the original red versus blue accounts.
I had a sense that the all of a sudden sound was directed at me there. What is that?
Whoever set up the original RVB counts for like Caboose and Griff and a few of those characters, they didn't just use like an email address for that character. They used like the store email address.
I just used whatever the fuck we had available.
Or the administrative email address.
That's all I did.
And because of that, I don't know the passwords to all that stuff. I'll try and enter it, and it'll say, hey, this password's wrong, but we can text you something, blah, 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 blah. And I tried doing that, and it didn't work, and I was like, fuck. And that day we decided to just make new profiles and accounts and all this shit, and God bless the Adams for helping. But then later that day, we get an email from Adam saying like, hey, guys, remember, don't use this password because it's been compromised. Just today, we had somebody try and hack into something using that old password. Stop using it. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. All of the old REB accounts use that password. I got to change the password on all these. So now I get Adam to help me, like, changing passwords. We're getting emails and text messages and calling people and fucking changing all this shit. And at one point in the middle of all of it, I'm sitting next to Adam Ellis, and I go, hey, Adam, what kind of breach did we have today? And he goes, somebody tried to get into a Microsoft account password. I go, was it the admin Microsoft account? Yeah. Why? I'm the hacker. I'm the hacker. I'm the one that hacked. And
you lean in and whisper
and
it?
earlier that I know. I turned around and go, I'm the hacker. What? I'm the hacker. Look, and I point to my email, and I have the email. It's like, hey, that password doesn't work. And he goes, no. We called somebody today. And that's when I remembered I was standing in the fucking break room, waiting to go to the bathroom. I get a call, and I go, I don't know this number. Hello? Oh, wrong number. Hang up. And as soon as I hang up the phone, I go, I should start answering random numbers as, hey, this is Miles.
What I love is that you were in the break room. We're literally like 15 feet away from each other. We're on the phone. There's no walls between us. We're having a conversation and we don't hear each other.
I was like, Adam goes, oh my God. And we like ran into each other. I was like, it was you. You're the man on the phone.
Colossal waste of time.
It was such a
Total
fucking
waste
waste
of time.
Oh my fucking God.
And by the way,